So this is another video on the theme of the path to a durable, complete remission. And last week we focused on metformin, which interferes with energy metabolism in a very unusual way. So today I'd like to talk about other ways of affecting access of the cancer to energy. And I've touched on these items in previous videos, so this will be somewhat repetitious, but it's my attempt to pull together in one video a central theme. As part of going from a cancer cell, from a normal cell to a cancer cell, most human malignancies turn on consumption of sugar. Sugar is high-octane fuel, and so the cancer will pick up sugar and burn it to pyruvate or lactate and get most of its energy that way. This is called the Warburg effect, because Otto Warburg discovered it. And there's a scan to visualize cancers for this reason. They take sugar and label it with radioactive fluorine, F18. So it's the fluorine deoxyglucose, FDG, PET scan. And most cancers will light up very dramatically with an FDG PET scan, particularly in things like lung cancer, like a bright light in a dark room. So one of the puzzles is that most prostate cancers are invisible on the fluorodeoxyglucose PET. They take up less sugar than most normal tissues. The exception being certain very rapidly growing prostate cancers with doubling times of 2 to 6 weeks. They're going fast enough, they need the sugar as fuel. But for the most part, prostate cancer is invisible. And so the question is, what's this cancer doing? Why is prostate cancer so different? So I think that the best way to approach this is, what does prostate tissue do for a living? And one of the major functions of the prostate is to pour citric acid into the semen in order to make the semen an effective home for the sperm. And citric acid is made in the mitochondria in a pathway that is also involved in converting fat into energy. This is found in the mitochondria. And I guess other than heart, or perhaps liver, prostate cancer has normal prostate has the highest concentration of this energy powerhouse than any other normal tissue. That should have been a clue. It turns out what prostate cancer does is it picks up fat and burns the fat for energy. More like diesel fuel compared to the gasoline of sugar. And it gets the fat from two major sources. First and foremost, the LDL cholesterol particle. Now you think of the LDL particle containing cholesterol and forget it also contains a lot of fat. Prostate cancer typically makes a lot of LDL receptor on its surface and will suck LDL cholesterol in. And normally the LDL receptor would be suppressed if there's a lot of cholesterol. Prostate cancer, that regulation is lost, and the LDL receptor concentration is inappropriately high, and prostate cancer avidly takes up LDL. This makes a fat source. Of course, the cholesterol in the LDL particle can then be converted to testosterone, and we now know that's a major path to hormone resistance, a topic we'll be covering in the next couple videos. So the LDL cholesterol forms a major energy source. This is probably why in population studies the use of statins seem to reduce the risk of cancer, and why statins make radiation therapy more effective, etc., etc. By keeping your LDL cholesterol down, you help prevent that. Another source of fat is a major protein in blood is albumin. And fat can bind to albumin, and prostate cancer has a cell surface receptor that latches onto albumin and sucks it and the fat in to the cancer cell. And I haven't found any way to interfere with that. So that's the other major energy source. So if you use metformin and keep your LDL cholesterol down, with a statin if you have to, you go a long way to minimizing the uptake of energy for the cancer cell. So I think this is an important twist. Now, it's interesting, with aggressive prostate cancer, you're dealing with an opponent that exhibits intelligence in that it can create solutions. It doesn't do so by virtue of having neurons, but by generating mutations and selecting for the ability to cope. So what would you think the cancer would do if you've inhibited the LDL cholesterol and have it on metformin? Well, the obvious answer, jazz up sugar intake. And in fact, that's what you find. If someone if a prostate cancer patient's on metformin and you do the fluorodeoxyglucose PET CT, there's a huge increase in sugar uptake. So obviously, the remaining piece of the puzzle is, what do you do with that response? What's going to be your counter move? And of course, this is a hot topic because that increased sugar uptake is a fact in a wide range of cancers. And one of the hottest topics at the basic science level is energy metabolism of cancer and how to target it. And one of the more promising agents for this specific issue is dichloroacetic acid. Very well tolerated, been used to treat children with a genetic abnormality and keeps them out of trouble. But definitely not validated by randomized controlled trials. However, there are some very interesting clinical studies. My favorite one is a paper that explored dichloroacetic acid in the treatment of glioma. And of all the dichloroacetic acid papers, it's the one I think that is the best done. Still, it's early days in assessing what dichloroacetic acid will do beneficially, except insofar to say it seems to be extraordinarily safe if used in modest doses. So there you go. That's all I have to say about energy metabolism. We already have powerful tools, but things yet we need to do to fully deprive the cancer of all energy sources. Have a nice day.